US Federal Reserve announcing its latest interest rate decision as the country faces a slowing labour market and President Trump's expansive tariffs. I want to go straight to our Richard Quest to help us break down the numbers. And Richard, do we have a sense of what that decision is? Markets pricing in 25 basis points here.
And that's exactly what they got. It's just been announced from the Fed that interest rates will be cut by a quarter point, 25 basis points. I'm going to lean over to the left while I grab the statement, which is just printing over here, because the interesting thing is also not only what they voted for, how they voted, and what all members did. Now, here we go. Voting for monetary policy was most of them. There it is. There, right at the bottom. This is the interesting, not so much important, but interesting bit, Isa. Voting against this action was Stephen Mirren, who preferred to cut the rate by 50 basis points, half a percentage point. That is interesting because Stephen Mirren is Donald Trump's pick to take one of the vacant seats, fill a vacant seat, and he was only confirmed yesterday. The vote to confirm him happened late last night. So not only has Donald Trump got his person onto the Fed board, that man voted for a twice larger rate cut than the rest of the board. One other thing to note, Lisa Cook, she is the Fed governor that Donald Trump's trying to sack, who a court ruled could sit today and yesterday. She voted for the 25 basis points. So the cat is amongst the pigeons here.
Yeah, I mean, interesting that Stephen Mirren, the newly confirmed governor, has the way he's asking for 50 basis points. And this has been described, Richard, as one of the most politically charged decisions, an unprecedented meeting. Do you have a sense in terms of, if you looked at the dot plot, what the guidance is? And of course, we'll hear from Jay Powell a bit later in about 25 minutes or so. Do we have a sense of how others voted? I know you're still trawling for all the papers.
From your words to from your lips to my producer's ears. We're just printing the dot plot even as we speak, because that comes with other notes to it. I think, look, the politicization of the Fed is now well and truly underway. The fact that Mirren couldn't go, even just to not so he didn't scare the horses. He couldn't go for 25 basis points. And the reason I say this is because the other two governors who did, Christopher Waller and Michelle Baumann, they both went for 25 last time and they went for 25 this time. In other words, they're going with the majority. It is Stephen Mirren who is just basically sticking two fingers up at the rest of them, saying, I mean, we can only interpret this as being my former boss, if you will. I was head of chief economic advisor. He wants 50 basis points. He's put me here. I think there should be 50 basis points. I'm just going to, here we go. I've got a whole load of the dot plot coming here now. I'll get to it in a second when we have a look at it. This is very dangerous.
We're just